Hey guys, episode 39 of the Stock Portfolio series. As always, if you want to get a free share worth up to £100, use my link for Trading212 down below. Probably still be on the waiting list for a little while, but they are working through them. So portfolio's sort of pretty much flat for the week, but that's only because I've deposited £1,000. Gold and silver sort of taking a bit of a beating again, silver especially. So both of these funds are down about £1,500 between them. Not too good. Did have a sort of rise last week, but that's all gone. But still fairly happy for sort of the medium term. Over to Trading212. So the ISA's taken a bit of a hit with the drop in Bitcoin and sort of obviously the precious metals as well, and sort of some of the tech sell-off as well. Kind of been sort of hit from all fronts this week. So it's at about 34 last week, and it's sort of come down. The ARC Pi has dropped about £200. Again, sort of quite happy with this. With the ISA new season only sort of week and a half away now. Hoping to maybe time that with a Bitcoin sale and sort of buy into this. So as low as that can get would be ideal. A lot of the other holdings are not faring too well. Things like Alibaba have been hit by the Chinese sort of tech sell-off. Still talking about maybe delisting them on the American exchanges, which wouldn't be good. And sort of Chinese government crackdowns. So Alibaba not doing too well, but fairly happy with them sort of longer term. Some of the REITs sort of really picking up. I've sort of read the REITs do tend to do well in inflationary times because they just have massive assets, obviously, that are appreciating. So it's always good. Argo sort of a little bit up and down, but taking a hit with the drop in Bitcoin. Haven't seen anything sort of specific come out from them to sort of stem that. So the ETP sort of fared a little bit worse, even 8% down, but Bitcoin has been sort of rising, especially since the close. So if it can carry on going up, then or even stay where it is, this should open sort of higher on Monday. A lot of the others are sort of fairly flat. Digital Realty, sort of as I say, the American REITs at least are doing well. First Majestic come down with the silver price, so taking a bit of a hammering. Most of the other smaller positions still going to probably consolidate some of these, aside from the ARC Pi when things move along a little bit more. Polymetal taking a bit of a hit with gold and silver prices. Same with everything else. It's been sort of on a downwards for a couple of weeks now, but yeah, still fairly happy. I'm not adding to them, but yeah, fairly happy to hold. Stag, nice little gain. This doesn't sort of rocket up too much, but seems a nice little gainer over the last couple of months. Monthly dividend. Sylvania taking a bit of a hit, sort of with the drop in platinum, and sort of rhodium still a little bit up and down, and I think it's just sort of general not wanting to be in precious metals, but happy for that sort of probably in the next 6 months to a year. As I sort of say, I'm probably going to be getting out of Sylvania, maybe not entirely, but hoping for sort of £1.50, £2 maybe top end. Taylor Wimpey, pretty flat for the week. And Volkswagen sort of certainly making the news at the moment, but a fairly flat week. Enjoying the news about the sort of transition to electric vehicles and sort of investment in new sort of technology and plants and that sort of thing. Really excited for them. Certainly considering the sort of rival merger with this new group, Stellantis, sort of the Peugeot, Citroen and Vauxhall company merging with Fiat Chrysler, sort of creating quite a large group now. So I want to sort of see, now that they've consolidated their funds, sort of maybe get a quarter or two just to see what their proper results are like, and certainly considering making an investment in them. Most of the investor count sort of seems to be up a couple of percent on the week. So it was at 94,000 last week, and I've added 1,000, now at 96. So just sort of seems to be steady gains from most stuff. Obviously not Alibaba, but most of the shares sort of up 1 or 2%. Put the £1,000 into Baidu this week. Sort of had a hell of a drop. They've been really hit hard with the Chinese sort of tech crackdown. I don't think they'd really been spoken about in the sort of Chinese government interventions, and they are now. And I think there was a sale from Goldman Sachs of a load of shares. But yeah, I think this is sort of a very small market cap considering what they do. The sort of the Chinese Google, as people call them. But yeah, getting into sort of electric vehicles and artificial intelligence stuff and that sort of thing. I think they should be a good one for the longer term, and sort of much smaller market cap than sort of Alibaba and Tencent. So yeah, fairly happy with them. If it drops more, then I might get in a little bit more. Didn't catch the bottom there. It did go to sort of 180, just under 180, but got in at 192. Can't always catch the bottom when these sort of big moves downwards. Yeah, most of the others, as I say, seem to be up sort of a couple of percent, maybe between 1 and 5%. eBay doing quite well. FedEx sort of pretty much flat. Intel getting a boost from government investment, basically, wanting to keep manufacturing in the US, so they're getting a boost. They're building new factories in America and sort of getting government grants to help with that, about $20 billion. So pretty happy with Intel going forward. The ETFs have sort of taken a bit of a hit. Emerging markets, obviously, with the Chinese sell-off. Global clean energy just sort of coming down off a bit of a high still. So it's down a couple of percent in the last week. As I say, I would like to add to this, so quite happy for it to come down. Kroger seeing a nice little gain. Again, this doesn't sort of move tremendously, but 5%, not too bad. Seem a very safe sort of supermarket stock, so always going to see demand. I think this sort of shift to value is going to probably carry on as interest rate rises potentially come in, and sort of worries of inflation. People are going to sort of want a little bit more safety in their stocks. So you get things like Lennar, house builders. This is sort of moving a little bit after the UK house builders, but I think it's all sort of similar sentiment, really. Lockheed Martin, sort of small move up, but yeah, looking over the sort of 3 months, sort of come back from its little drop that it had. Nintendo, nice little move, but yeah, very up and down in the last sort of few months. Hoping they can make an announcement. Porsche, pretty flat for the week, same as Volkswagen. Rio Tinto, I would like to probably put a little bit more in. I was kind of hoping it was going to stick around the £53 mark, but it's come back. We'll see what happens with that. A lot of people saying steel prices are going to sort of come quite drastically down over the next few years. Sort of sceptical of that with the potential inflation. But Rio Tinto in a lot of other things other than iron ore, so fairly happy with them. Sort of longer term, I think probably the analysts are maybe under-expecting their sort of potential revenues. They're in copper as well and that sort of thing, so I think they should be fine. Oil's coming down a little bit, so Shell sort of not doing quite so well, but still sort of fairly well up on the last few months. So not too much moves elsewhere. TSMC coming down. They did sort of come down to about $110. It recovered a little bit, but over the last sort of few months really come down off their highs. So would like to add to these as well. So kind of expecting it might go up a little bit more, but happy for it to probably stay around these levels. I mean, it is a growth stock and kind of got a monopoly on chips before sort of Intel come on board with their new factories. That'll take years to build. Tyson sort of fairly flat. The video gaming ETF down slightly. That's fine. And Verizon just sort of doing quite well. As I say, this one isn't a super long term, but just a substitute while other things are expensive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bit of a choppy sort of up and down week, but these are sort of the good times to invest and see where we go over the next few months. So drop a comment down below and give us a like, as always appreciated, and subscribe if you want to see more. See you soon.